Hi everyone, how's it going? I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to our 13th day of our 21-day August meditation programs. My name is Timothy, and yeah, thank you all for coming. So today we're moving up. So we're moving on to the 6th energy center, and it's we call it the Agya. And so yesterday we were doing we're on the 5th energy center, so the Vishuddhi over in the crook of our neck, and we were discussing qualities like witnessing and being able to distance ourselves from situations that might otherwise aggravate us or bring us out of that sort of balanced state that we get from meditation. And so in a similar vein, I won't talk too much about it, but in a similar vein, the quality that we associate with this 6th chakra and with this Agya chakra is forgiveness. And I won't go into too much detail. I'll let our lovely presenter talk about it more. But yeah, we'll be focusing on this quality of forgiveness today when we're talking about this sixth energy center. So yeah, just as always, if this is your first time attending any of the programs, and if you haven't gone through the self-realization process, just type it up in the chat, and we'll try and create a breakout room for you and go through that realization process, because it's quite an integral part of all these programs. It's quite a prerequisite. So so I'll pass it now on to our presenter for today, and she can introduce herself, and I'll just mute myself.
Thank you, Tim. Good evening. Welcome to all for this 13th day of meditation. And first, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Poonam, and I have been practicing Sahaj Yoga for over 23 years. I have learned a lot and have benefited also from this meditation. And in today's session, I would like to share a few of my learnings and experiences with all of you, and so that we all benefit by it. And so I'll move on to the topic of today's meditation. And as you all know, today's focus, we are focusing on the sixth energy center, or the Agya Chakra as we call it. This chakra is placed between the optic chiasma, or in lay terms, we can say that in the center of the forehead, right here, where my red spot is. And it's a very important center. And as the title of the session suggests, the main qualities of this chakra are forgiveness and thoughtlessness. So we'll be concentrating on these two main issues. And but before that, I would like to share something about the Agya Chakra. What is Agya Chakra, and what all affects the Agya Chakra? And then later on, how to overcome these shortcomings that we gather in the process. And then we'll do a short meditation. We'll listen to Shrimataji and a short normal meditation. And we'll sit down for silent meditation for some time. So not taking much time, I would like to just say that this Agya Chakra plays a very significant role, and it is a very significant chakra and a key milestone in our realization process. Since olden times, we have seen those people who were interested in meditation and tried raising their Kundalini were never able to go past this chakra. Either they went to the left or to the right. But it is only by the grace of Shrimataji Nirmala Devi, who is the founder of this meditation, that when she opened the Sahasrara of the world, was this possible? She enabled us that we'll be able to raise our Kundalini, and the Kundalini will pass through this Agya Chakra and lead us to that place of joy, the proof of which we have experienced all these days as vibrations on our fontanelle bone area or above our head as cool or warm vibrations, and on the top of our palms also. Now, I'll request, could we have the subtle chart, please? Now we'll take a deeper look at the construction of the Agya Chakra. What forms this chakra? As we can see in the subtle chart, the blue line or the left channel when it comes over, it crosses at this point, at the Agya point, and it goes from the left side goes and crosses from the forehead to the right, and it forms the superego. The left channel goes and crosses and forms a superego. And from the right channel goes and crosses at the forehead, at the point of the forehead, and forms the ego. So one is ego and one is superego. But apart, like they were moving in our body, but at the at the forehead, they cross and move in opposite directions. They intersect, they cross each other and move in the opposite direction. So we get these two balloons of ego and superego, which affect our body. And so that is why we have seen that this Agya Chakra is responsible for the activities of our brain also. It takes care of the brain also. So if there's any problem in the brain, we see that if the problem is on the right side of the brain, the person will feel it on the left side because of this intersection. And if it is on the left side, the person will feel on the right side. And now, since we've received our self-realization and we know that how we feel the vibrations, the ego and superego, these two institutions, in order to increase our vibrations and to have a clear agya, we have to get rid of these two institutions, which are like nothing but balloons of ego and superego. Now, I would like to share something that how do we develop this ego? When we do some action, when we want to do some action, we have some desire. That is the left channel is activated. Then when we do something, then the right channel is activated and it gives rise to thoughts in our mind, thoughts which tell us, yes, you can do it. Only you can do it. Only you are right. How dare anybody offend you or insult you? So you are always right. So these are thoughts of ego. But the other side, the superego or the conditionings, or we can say our old habits, past habits, which sometimes are very difficult to be given up. So they are formed. When they are formed, then we develop self-doubt. We start doubting ourselves. We think, no, we can't do it. I'm no good. I can't do it. And we don't want to give up all those age-old practices that we have been doing so far. I wouldn't say that all conditionings are bad, but here we have to use a discretion. The discretion which we saw started from the Vishuddhi chakra, the fifth chakra, but it is strengthened in this chakra because apart from thoughtlessness and forgiveness, this chakra has other qualities also. It looks after the brain, it strengthens our discretion, it improves our eyesight because the nerves which supply the eyes, this Agya chakra is responsible for our eyesight also, because these nerves which cross from here, they go at the back and they supply the nerves to the eyes. And so when we have a clear Agya, we also have a clear eyesight. Our eyesight improves. It has been seen in many cases that those people who could hardly see, by clearing their Agya, they could see quite well. And now, how does this ego rise? When we think that we can do it, so, and we are always right, this ego comes up. And when with their self-doubt, then the superego comes up, or it's hard to give up the conditionings. But only when we give up this I-ness will the self rise. Otherwise, it's very difficult to have a clear Agya. Now you may ask me, or a question may come to our mind, that how do we clear this Agya? How do we clear the inflated balloons of this ego and superego? So there's just one way we can clear, and that is forgiveness. We have to forgive. We have to forgive these thoughts which are coming in to our minds from any source whatsoever. Whatever we may have done, or whatever someone else may have done to us. Sometimes we carry our past resentments, and we are unable to forgive people. We always say it's very difficult to forgive, but we should always realize that whether we forgive or don't forgive, we don't do anything. Everything is done by the divine power, or our mother energy, the Kundalini energy within us, that does everything. We don't do anything. So any person may have harmed us, no problem. Or we may have harmed somebody. But what's the use of carrying that resentment and troubling ourselves? The other person who has troubled us must be happy and moving about nicely, while we are taking all this pressure and all these thoughts are coming into us. We are unable to forgive, and thus this chakra won't open, and the Kundalini energy won't be able to go into the seventh chakra above the forehead, and we won't be able to feel the complete joy and bliss. So, as it is, we are wise people, and in our own wisdom, we have to and we should forgive everyone. So, that is the only mantra. Forgiveness is the only way we can cross this Agya Chakra. Forgive our thoughts. Any thoughts that come to our mind, we should say, I forgive, I forgive, I forgive. Forgive ourselves and forgive others. First, we have to forgive ourselves, and then we forgive others. So, before going into further details, I would like that we all share a short excerpt of Shrimataji Nirmala Devi, wherein we learn more about this Agya Chakra.
So here what happens that when the Kundalini rises, when she goes to the Agya Chakra, which represents, as you say, the third eye, whatever you may call it, it is between the optic chiasma, and it looks after the pituitary and the pineal body. And as a result, we have developed two institutions called ego and superego. The ego is the one which tells us, I have done it, I am doing this. Both these institutions are sucked in by the enlightenment of the center. And that's how the thing opens out. And all your karmas are sucked in. So there's no problem of karmas. Only human beings think that they are doing karmas. Animals don't. They have no sense of sin or anything. They are completely under the bondage of God. So in Sanskrit they are called as Pashu, means under the bondage. But we are the ones who have got freedom. That's why we think that we have done this and we have done that. We should not do this, we should not do that. But when the Kundalini rises and she awakens the center, then both these things are sucked in. And when they are sucked in, then you do not do any karmas anymore. You just are in a karma. You do everything. I mean, I travel, such a lot, and I have a family and everything is there. But it's just, happening. I'm just seeing it. I'm not doing anything as such. So when you are also awakened, there's no obligation. It's just happening. It is so. Is here where we should understand this center is bestowed upon by the great life of Christ. Christ is there. And they said that he died for our sins, died for our karmas, is a fact. Because when he is awakened, these two institutions are pulled inside. And you get your kundalini out there. It opens out. And this bone, which has been calcified, opens out. And the kundalini pierces through. And this is what it is that he died for our sins. But still the theory is extended that we must suffer. Why should we suffer? He has suffered for us already. And is already written by Thomas, who was traveling to India via Egypt, where he wrote the treatise, and he said that why should we suffer? Christ has already suffered for us. And he's talked everything about Sahaja Yoga. He said it is an experience of self-realization and everything. And that book now is out in England. After 48 years, they could decode the whole thing, which was found about 48 years back in Egypt. And is out now, and is beautiful. Gnostics is the name of the book. But is not so much appreciated by some of the people because it challenges the theories of sufferings and confessions and all this nonsense. Now one thing is there obstructing Sahasrara is the movement of your agya into thoughts. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that stops your entry into Sahaja Yoga. Thoughts are coming all the time. Because a human being is born who reacts to everything. React to this and react to that, and the thoughts come in and thoughts go. There's a big crowd of thoughts. Because of that, your attention cannot cross over agya and can reside in the Sahasrara. So first of all, one should see what sort of thoughts are coming. You have to condemn yourself sometimes. You have to say, what nonsense, what have I been doing? What's the matter with me? How could I do all that? Once you start doing that, these thoughts will start disappearing. These thoughts are coming from two angles, one from the ego and another from your conditionings. And these are so much built up within you that they don't allow your agya to be crossed. That's why we have two bija mantras of Ham Ksham. First one is, when it is conditioning, you are endowed with this kind of a fear. I shouldn't do like this, I shouldn't do like that, is not allowed, that is not allowed. That's the conditioning part of it. Conditioning can be of many types. But the ego part of it is that I must overpower everybody, I must get this, I must be able to rule everyone. These two things are there in the mind which are all the time crossing. So it's important that we should go into thoughtless awareness. And that thoughtless awareness is the real way that your Sahasrara can be nourished by the Kundalini. Because Kundalini cannot go through, cannot pass through. And for that, as I said, there are two bija mantras. One is Ham, another Ksham. So if you are conditioned, you are frightened, you are afraid, and you had ideas about yourself. These days, the way people are describing, they'll say, I'm an extrovert. Somebody will say, I'm an introvert. Somebody will say, I'm hippie, I'm that. All kinds of things they can have attributed to themselves. But these ideas are all coming from outside. They are not from inside. To get to the inner side of yourself, the subtler side of your being, you must allow the Kundalini to go through the agya. To cross the agya is a very important thing in modern times. And for that you have to meditate. If you can meditate with complete faith in yourself, this agya can be opened up with surrendering to the divine. You have to surrender yourself to the divine. And when this agya opens, you'll be amazed. Your sahasrara is just waiting to transfer, to give you all the help that you need through the all-pervading power. Your connection of sahasrara with the all-pervading power is established. And by that you will be amazed how all these 7 chakras work for you, how they help you, how they try to give you whatever is the real knowledge about everything. This real knowledge that you get is very joy-giving. You can see this real knowledge in everything. You don't have to start reading any book about it. In every situation and in every person, in every flower, in every natural happening, you see clearly the hand of the divine. Once you see the hand of the divine, your ego starts disappearing. Once you say that it's you do everything. Kabira has said something great about this. He said that when the goat is alive, it goes on saying, I am, I am. But when it is slaughtered and its intestines are made into strings which are used for cleaning the cotton, then it said, tu hi, you are. See, in this symbolic way, they have suggested that you have to become dissolved into this divine power. It's the divine power that does everything. What am I? I was just a drop, and I fell into this ocean of awareness of the divine power. And that is taking over and working it out. That will help you a lot to be a great surgeon. You develop curing powers, but still you are not proud of it. You developed, of course, awakening powers, you are not proud of it. You develop so many creative powers and you are not proud of it. You become really very, very creative, extremely creative. But the greatest thing happened to you that you become a global personality. So you start seeing the problem of every country, of every other nation where they have problems. But these problems when you see, you don't see like other people, because others may like to use it for their own purpose, maybe for media, maybe for something. What you want to see is that these problems are solved. See, your powers are so great with this kind of a mind, I would say, which is dominated completely by the divine power, that whatever disturbs you immediately is taken over and it starts working out. Many problems have been solved by surgery. And also they can be solved on a very universal level. If you are a global person, then what happens is that you become a sort of a vehicle, or you can become like a channel for this divine power to act, because you are purely a global personality. Not attached to this, attached to that, but a pure Sahaja personality which can be used by this divine power very easily. For that, as I told in the afternoon also, that we have to be careful about few things that we have. Firstly, anger. Anger is the worst thing that we have. Angry for what? There are people who talk like this. I was very angry. They're proud of their anger. Anger is a sign of complete stupidity, absolute stupidity. There's no need to get angry with anyone, because by anger you don't solve the problem. With anger you spoil yourself. With anger you ruin your own nature. With anger, you really spoil the whole situation. So no use having any anger about anything. But if anything happens that angers you, you should settle down and see for yourself why is it wrong, why is it disturbing you. Your seeing itself will help this problem to be solved. You must first of all realize that you are a special personality, that your Sahasrara has been opened out to this all divine power, as if you are entered into the realm of divinity. You are great guests in that great court of divine domain. You are not an ordinary person. And so once you understand why you have Sahaja and why you have got realization, is that there's something special. But that should not give you any ego. It's not for ego that you have to have this, but it's for understanding that you have to play into the hands of the divine. This play is something I could explain like this, that if you are supposing an artist, then in the hand of the artist is the brush, and the brush never thinks that it is doing anything. It's the artist who is doing everything. In the same way, when you are one with the divine power, you just feel, I am not doing anything. It's the artist who is doing. It's the artist who is managing. And who is the artist? Is this divine power which loves you, which cares for you, which looks after you, which absolutely is identified with you.
Welcome back. After this wonderful talk by our beloved mother, Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi, difficult to speak. But then, in continuation of this session, I would like to have a practical session with all of you, wherein we'll do the usual raising of our Kundalini, putting ourselves into Bandhan, balancing our left and right channels, and then for a very short while, go into silent meditation. After saying one or two short mantras, as Shri Mataji has said, to clear our agya further. So first of all, as we all know, we'll keep our left hand in front at the lowest chakra, and the right hand will go around it. Slowly, slowly, we'll raise our mother energy. In front of all the chakras. Push our head back. Tie one knot. Second time, we'll repeat again. Carefully, because we are raising a mother energy. So we have to be respectable about it. Next time, we tie two knots. Again, bring our hands down. Third time. Same process. 3 notes. These knots we tie so that our mother energy stays above our Sahasrara. Now we'll put ourselves into protection or bandhan. So we start with our left hand open towards the photograph of mother, and with the right hand we'll make a semicircle carefully above the forehead. One, this is the second time we are doing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the last time, 7. 7 times we don't bring it back. We leave it there. Now we'll balance our left and right channels, both hands in front. With the left hand towards the photograph, the right hand we'll put towards the Mother Earth in order to balance our left channel. O Mother Earth, O Kundalini Mother, kindly take away, I surrender all my past regrets and resentments to the Mother Earth. I surrender. We can say 1 or 2 times till we start feeling cool on our left hand. Mother energy, kindly surrender all my resentments, my past thoughts, and let them be absorbed by the Mother Earth. We can repeat this again if we like. Please take away all the thoughts, past thoughts, and resentments, and let them be absorbed by the Mother Earth. Now, right hand we'll put in front of the photograph, and left hand we'll raise like this, with the palm facing backwards, and we'll say, O Kundalini Mother, I surrender all my mental overactivity, all my thoughts, worries of the future, and let them be dissipated into the ether element. O Divine Mother, O Mother Kundalini, please settle my thoughts. Please take away all the worries of the future and my mental overactivity, and let it be dissipated into the ether element. Now, when we start feeling, till when should we say is that we should feel vibrations on our right palm. And once we feel, so we can put both the hands at the level of the heart. And we can again pray. We can pray to our Mother Energy. Mother, please give me balance. Please let me feel the joy. With our attention on the fontanelle bone area, on the area on top of our head, we'll say this. Oh, divine energy, please give me balance. Let me feel the joy. I've already talked previously about clearing our Agya Chakra, or how to get rid of our thoughts. And there's another short mantra we can also say. There are various methods of clearing the Agya. One is forgiveness, which we've talked about earlier. And there's another one, like Shimataji mentioned, Hum Sham. Hum means I am. Yes, I'm good. I can do it. And Sham means I forgive. I forgive. I forgive myself and I forgive others. So the way to do it, we'll take our right hand and put it across our forehead. The right hand in front, across the forehead, and the left hand at the back, at the protrusion of the head on the back. And we'll say 1 or 2 times. And after that, we can put our hands on our lap and sit down in silent meditation for 1 or 2 minutes. So the mantra is Hum, Sham, Hum, Sham, Hum, Sham, Hum,
Hum.
Hope you all enjoyed the silent meditation. You felt the joy in your heart and on top of your Sahasrar as cool vibrations. Hope this session is useful to all of us, and we've learned how to forgive and not go after our thoughts which keep troubling us, and not have wrong ideas about us also, to be in balance so that we can, our divine energy, our Kundalini energy can easily pass through the sixth center and lead us into that kingdom of joy, where we'll be all in bliss and enjoy what is Mother Nature wants to give to all of us. So now I'll hand over to Tim.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for that meditation session. Really loved it. Yeah, and very, very nice choice of talk, and really informative. It's nice having stuff like diagrams and some sort of scientific backing, I guess, but yeah, just things that we can bring from the outside and from like the practical world, and like, you know, relate it to Saj Yoga and see how it's how it's proven like in many facets of the world. But yeah, so thank you so much for that again.
Thank you.
Something that I won't talk too much, because I feel like the meditation, it's nice to keep that feeling of the meditation after these sessions, but I will just say something like forgiveness is in a similar vein to what we were talking about yesterday about as witnessing, and it's really something that when we can learn to master forgiveness, again, just like witnessing, we don't have to drag ourselves down into sort of any unnecessary turmoils or situations. If we can just learn to really, you know, forgive a situation or forgive a person, and just, you know, let it work out, you know, let them work out within themselves. But, you know, as long as we ourselves forgive any other situation, we can properly be free and move on. So yeah, I think it's a very important point, and something that's very applicable to all of us, and something that's, I think, quite easy to notice and to work on in our daily lives. But yeah, again, I won't say much more, because I really feel it's nice to keep the feeling of the meditation that we've just had. Yeah, but as always, I'll just quickly share my screen, and we'll so I'll just share my screen, and as usual, I'm just on the freemeditation.com website, and we're on streaming in August 2022 course. And as usual, all the 3 weeks are here. So if you want to access any of the meditations that have previously happened, then you can just click on the videos, and it should take you to the YouTube link. And then additionally, there's just some extra resources down here. But yeah, that's all. So again, we'll stay on. Like the team will stay on if anyone has any questions or something they'd like to share. That's all right. We can stay on for a little bit longer. And obviously the WhatsApp chat is always available. So yeah, again, thank you so much for that amazing meditation. And I'll end it there. And I think one of the tech team will put on the music, so we can, if you'd like to stay on and meditate, that's also fine. But yeah, goodbye everyone, and thank you for coming today. And I will see you tomorrow for the 14th day of our August meditation programs. Goodbye.